Hey you guys, and welcome to the video. I'm going to be showing you my eyeshadow palette collection for the beginning of 2022. I've been doing this now for 3 years, where I show you the palettes that I currently have in my collection at the very beginning of the year, and I like to also look back personally on the amount of palettes that I had the previous years. The first time I did this was 2019, and I had just shy of 100 palettes, which is insane, ridiculous, and I've learned that is not the way to go. The bigger the collection is not better, because you're just wasting it. So I've been very cutthroat with my declutters, and if it's not my color story, if I'm not going to wear it every day, then I do not need it in my collection. So these are what I'm currently working with, and some of them are ride or die. I will let you know. Other ones I haven't used yet, or you know, all that situation, but that is what we're going to do today. So if you want to see all the palettes that I currently have for the beginning of 2022, then definitely keep on watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get started. So as I show you these, they're in no particular order. I've just kind of shoved everything into boxes, so I'm going to pull out as I go. So very first palette is from Stila. This is one that you no longer can get. That's the After Hours eyeshadow palette. Choco, quit growling. And it has an amazing color story. I absolutely love it. I haven't used like every single shade from here. I pretty much only like a certain look out of this palette, which is what I use it for. This is one that I probably should get rid of, only because like I have these shades in other palettes, but I just love it so much that I haven't been able to get rid of it yet. That's how much I love it. Then the next palette, this is one that is super OG. It's literally the very first launch. I sat in virtual line for 45 minutes to get it. You haven't guessed already. It's the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, the very first release ever. It is my most used palette. Purchased this in 2017 when it launched, and it has definitely gotten use. Now they did change the formula, so if you get this palette now, it's not going to be the same quality. This, however, I can still use to this day, and I haven't really seen much of a difference with the quality. So even though this is like how many years old? 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Like 5 years old almost? Well, it's 4 years old and some months, but still performs perfectly fine to me. No problems, and I'm gonna keep using it till there's mold growing on it, like her Vault collection with the 4 little white palettes where the green was growing mold. Yeah, that happened if you don't remember. Anyways, next we have this here, which was gifted to me from Look Fantastic. It's the Physicians Formula Rose All Play palette. I've only used it once to test it out, but it's definitely really pretty, and I want to keep on playing with it, so that's why it is still in my collection. This is one that I just got out of BoxyCharm, the Ditto Venus palette limited edition. I'm keeping this one because I swatched these shades and I was like, whoa, there's some different textures in here, and I just really want to play with it. It's got so many different shadow textures, and this, I'm wanting to play with it. That's why I'm going to keep it. I might do a video on it. Apparently it came out like several months ago on BoxyCharm, but I just now got it. Does it tell me what kind of different pigments they have? Matte, shimmery to creamy and glitter, low pitched matte for the base, neutral shimmery, ultra shiny glitter, and shimmer with sparkle. So yeah, there's a lot going on. I can't wait to play with that. I might do a video. I don't really know. Next up, I have my Hocus Pocus palettes from when it launched, and we never thought it was going to come back, and they do keep restocking it. I got this one for free because I got a refund because it came broken and they couldn't send me a replacement, but I don't really play with it because it's still such a mess, and every time I open it, it's like something else happens to it, but I can't get rid of it because it's one of those like sentimental things. Like, it's the very first one that I purchased. One day I'll clean it up and use it. It's I did a video on it. It came out really well, but it's just not one of the color stories that I go for, but I do keep it for like the sentiment of it being Hocus Pocus. And that's another reason why I made another purchase. I did a huge giveaway. I gave away a bunch of stuff. I purchased an entire collection for myself, and then I purchased an entire collection for my friend Noelle, just in case that she wasn't able to get the collection if it sold out, so I went ahead and bought it for her. her and then she'd pay me back. She was able to buy it, so then I had another collection. I was like, that's fine, I'll sell it on Poshmark. And then I sold my own palette, and then I was like, you know what? I just love Lizzie McGuire so much, so I purchased it again. Because I got rid of it a long time ago, and then when ColourPop was having a sale, I bought it again because I'm a nut. So I haven't even played with it. This is the What Dreams Are Made Of palette. Color Story brings me back to those days, and I'm eventually gonna play with it, I promise. I just don't know when, but it's one of those palettes I just want to have in my collection to look at, like the Hocus Pocus, because it just brings all the happiness of my childhood to life, if that makes sense. Anyways, next eyeshadow palette is from Natasha Denona, the Glam palette. Another one of my most used palettes. This one is so perfect, and I'm gonna have a lot of my favorite palettes linked below for you guys to go shop. But yeah, I love this palette. I use this a ton with the Natasha Denona Glam Face palette. Let me go ahead and put these side by side for you guys because I use these together and they're absolutely amazing. I love the cool tones and then the little bit of warmth that I can bring, but without it being too warm. And I love this so much. Everyone needs this palette and everyone needs this palette, so I just killed two birds with one stone showing you these two Natasha Denona palettes. And then next up we have something that's currently on sale for like 24 bucks. You guys need to go jump on it right now, link below. Plus Sephora's also doing an additional 20% off sales, so 20% off of $24. Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. Hurry up, link down below. Go purchase it before you can't anymore. This palette is another cool tone palette, but with more color. I love Huda's formula so much. This is one that's just so beautiful, and I could never get rid of it. I find myself using this palette a lot, and I love it. And you know what? Let's just side by side it again with another Huda palette, the Rose Quartz palette, which I also love so much. Cool tone dream right here, you guys. I did a review on this. I did another video on this. So if you want inspiration, then definitely go check it out. I had always wanted this palette. I bought it well after launch, so I don't think I ever did a video on this. Such a good palette. Love it. This one's such a good palette. Love it. Another palette that I fell in love with, but I haven't been reaching for, but I just can't. I don't think I used it at all in 2021, but I just can't see myself getting rid of it, and I don't know why. The Curly Bible by ABH. This is one that I'm going to put in my everyday makeup drawer eventually because I just need to get use out of it. I mean, it's a beautiful color story. I love it. A lot of people hate this palette, but I've always loved this palette. I've always had a good time with it. So that's why I've always kept it in my collection. But when you actually look at it, you just don't want to pick it up because you have other great palettes, and I don't know why. I just don't ever use it, but I love it and I don't want to get rid of it. That's the point of the everyday makeup drawer though, to see if I still like it. Anyways, let's move on. I have these Dior palettes here that I just recently reviewed because I did a video because they sent these to me for free. Thank you so much. We have a warm palette here, which, by the way, quality 10,000 out of 10,000. I'm buying more Dior makeup because this stuff is good, and it's not because they sent it to me. Like, this stuff was like, you put the color on, 2 seconds later you're done. You have a whole look. These are great palettes that I am so excited to keep on using. And then I got a free gift with purchase, so that's the perk of ordering from Dior.com. You get so much stuff for free, which I got so much stuff for free. Go watch that video, I have it linked below. But I got this other little palette that I haven't played with yet. It has 2 lipsticks in it and 3 shadows. So pretty. Can't wait to play with that. Now let's get on to the Going Coconuts palette. My best friend Caitlin bought me this a couple years ago when it came out. This shade keeps popping out, but I go into this palette all the time for cool tone shades. If you haven't noticed the theme, I love cool tones. This is such a good palette. I haven't gotten rid of it, obviously, even though it's kind of broken, because I go into this palette all the time. Going Coconuts, so good, you guys. Oh, another Huda palette that I love is the Nude Light. This one is so good. I have used this a million times. This is so good. It's like cool-ish warm tone, pinky, purpley. It goes well with like the other Huda palettes. It's just gorgeous, and I love this one so much. I also have these 2 Kylie palettes. If you can't tell by the difference in color, this one has been used a lot versus this one. But these were like holiday 2020 palettes that came in Ulta in like a set. And believe it or not, I use the heck out of these. This is like a cool tone purple and I love this. I love Kylie's shadow formula. A lot of people don't like them. They're kind of dry, but for me it works just really well with, like, I don't know, I make it work and it is easy. So it's just kind of weird how it's really hard for other people, but I love her quality of shadows. But here's the cool tone, and here is the warmer tone, which I dip into time and time again for like a warmer look. And this one's so good. I just keep that around because I don't have too much warm, and if I want warm, I go for that. And then we have this Life's a Draft palette, a Samantha March collection, a collaboration with Ofra, which this was sent to me for free, but it's still such a good palette. You can use my code Connor for 20% off your whole purchase at Ulta, or not Ulta, Ofra, by the way. I'll have that below, but this is such a pretty purpley palette. I don't go too much for like darker purples, but if I do want to go for darker purple, I have this palette, and I do like all of the colors in that one. Next up, we have another Kylie palette. This is the, I think it's Under the Sea. This is one you can't get anymore, but I love the mattes in here, of like the warmer like mattes here. I don't know. And the shimmers, I love this palette. It came out like 2 years ago. I've been using it nonstop since, and yeah, it's very sad you can't get it anymore, but yeah, it was for like a summer collection. I think like 2019 summer collection, I think. But anyways, love that. This is one that I can't get rid of because it's just beautiful. This is, I need to buy a new one. It's the Lorac Pro 3 palette. This is so old, but like it still works amazing. It's like a bride's dream palette. All the amazing color stories for like a natural, amazing glam look. But yeah, very buttery, soft, and smooth. We love this palette. Had it for years, can't get rid of it. We also have this palette here from Sigma, the Ambience palette, which was gifted to me from Look Fantastic. You guys hear growls? My dog Choco, she's a healer. She growls at everything. She doesn't mean anything by it. But anyways, I did get this gifted to me from Look Fantastic, and I just love this. I haven't tried it yet, but I cannot wait to. I wanted to do like a get ready with me video with this. It's just so pretty. I've always wanted this palette, and when lookfantastic.com was like, hey, you want to pick out some products on here? I was like, yes. So I had to get this. Yeah. Anyways, next up we also have from Ofra. Oh my god, you know what? I think you can still use my code for lookfantastic.com for 22% off. I'm not sure, but I think you can. I'll have it linked below if you can. But anyways, Ofra.com. 20% off, use code Connor for 20% off. This is the Signature Palette Sweet Dreams palette. Super pretty for like a pinky look. I love this. Then it has the Pillow Talk highlighter in the middle, which is a gorgeous highlighter, by the way. So this is the cute little palette. And then we have these Then we have these e.l.f. bite-sized palettes, which are amazing. I have the shades Truffles and Cream and Sugar. These are so good. If you want an inexpensive, amazing eyeshadow, these are like $3. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Then I also have the Glam Light Michaela palette. I'm not gonna lie, I've only used this twice, and then a third time with Noelle when she was here for a collab video. So I really haven't used it much, but I have it for just when I want to play with color. There's a couple of colors here that have some stabs in it from when we were blindfolded doing her makeup, but this is just in here for when I want, you know, some kind of color. And Glam Light has amazing quality shadows, so that's why I was like, I'm gonna keep this, and if I have any other color palettes, I just don't need them. We're almost done. See, I don't own that many palettes. I'm gonna add them all up at the end to give you a total. But I also have my mini MUA Life's a Drag palette. I've been waiting until I hit pan on one of these until I buy the newer one, which will probably be the white shade that I'll hit pan on first, because I mostly just stick to this side of the palette unless I want to pop a color. But this white in here is so good, and I use it all the time. Anytime I need a really good white, I just go to this palette. So So I love this palette. The neutral shades are amazing. I've used this palette a million times on my channel. Such a good palette. And then I have this other palette from Kylie Cosmetics, the Nightmare on Elm Street. Amazing packaging. I know these are much more dry, and a lot of people don't like her dry formula. Like I said, I make it work. I love them. I think the colors of her mattes are beautiful on the lids, and I have good experiences with her shadows. It's like some people can only work with certain kind of pigments and stuff, and like, what am I even trying to say? I'm trying to justify the fact that a lot of people hate this palette and I like it and it works for me. I don't really know what to say other than I like it and it works for me, okay? I like her shadow quality. God, I feel like there's always much hate about her quality of shadow. Anyways, and then I have the Stone Cold Fox from ColourPop. It's a brand new purchase for me. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. First time using it. Cool Tone Girl Dream palette, by the way, and this is the shimmer I used. Super pretty, and I can't wait to use this palette more. And then lastly, I have the Morphe 35X Big Primpin palette. This one I reviewed as well on my channel. Oh my goodness, it has so many beautiful colors in here, neutrals and pinks, and I've only used it once for a video, like 2 looks, but I want to dip it and use like all of the colors. And yeah, this is just a really pretty palette. Let me go ahead and count up how many palettes I have and give you a total so I can have the total for, like, you know, everything. So I have 31 palettes in my collection, which honestly when you look at it doesn't look like that many, but at least it's not 100. I think I had probably 40 or 50 or 60 last year. I'm not really sure, but at least it's not 100. I have a lot of great options here. Could my color story be expanded a little bit more? Probably, but I'm very happy with what I have, and I'm only keeping what I know I'm gonna love and need and have, not anything like wasted that's just sitting and taking up space, except for, you know, a few, but whatever. But anyways, that is my eyeshadow palette collection video. I hope you enjoyed. Which palettes do you have that I have? What palettes do you recommend that I try? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!